You both said today that you love each other, and I believe it, but I'm trying to tell you, love is not enough for a successful marriage. There's so many other things that go in it. It's not just about you anymore.
Here is today's case.
Orissa says she and Nicholas have been together for nearly a decade. Sadly, Orissa is coming for one thing and one thing only, a divorce. She says not only is he a proven cheater, but he's selfish when it comes to spending time with the kids. Nicholas says that he isn't willing to throw his family away and is begging for Orissa to not be spiteful. And the way to finally resolve this predicament is on divorce court.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, as you know, for the first time on Divorce Court, we have a virtual audience and it's filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Keisha from Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Keisha, welcome to Divorce Court. We're so happy to have you with us.
Your Honor, this is the case of Campbell versus Campbell.
Thank you, Juan. Orissa Campbell?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought your husband, Nick Campbell,
Yes, Your Honor.
to divorce court today. You say not only do you want a divorce, but he also owes you $8,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you say, sir, she is no angel herself, given some of the issues you've had in the marriage?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll start with you, man. Why don't you give me some background?
We've known each other technically since we were in high school. I kind of always shied away, stayed away from him. But finally, he was able to lock me down via Facebook. And we started dating. A year after us dating, we got married. It was just kind of like love at first sight. I couldn't stay away from him. He couldn't stay away from me. But little long and behold, within the marriage, I started seeing how, you know, he's very manipulative. He likes to lie. And I felt like a lot that he was just not compromising when I was doing most of the compromising.
Mm-hmm. And what do you have to say about that, Mr. Campbell?
Lies, lies, and more lies.
Okay.
Nah, but,
You would like to believe.
Honestly, Your Honor, I just felt like we just got married too early, like too quick, you know.
Because you've been married for 8 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Together
Your
for
Honor.
9
Yes, Your
years.
Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so you married young.
Yeah.
You were in your 20s.
Yeah.
Early 20s.
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
you are.
So why do you say you moved too fast?
We did. It's just,
His
one of them
part,
things,
but
yeah,
his
she got-
part, his doing,
yeah, she got pregnant, I got her pregnant.
his doing.
And,
So that was one of the reasons.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because you were having a child.
Yes.
And you wanted to get married.
And I just always felt like he always was just ready to trap me. He used to always say like comments like, I'm gonna marry you, you're gonna be my wife. Like it took him a year just for him to even date me because I would always give him the runaround. So yes, I do feel like he did trap me.
So you were curving him.
maliciously.
What?
Maliciously trapped
Really?
me. Yes, he kept me pregnant from the time I said I do. I was always pregnant. Like from the time after that, I was just pregnant every time.
Well, but it takes two in order for this to happen.
It does take two.
And you do have 5 children together, am I right?
We do.
You have 5 beautiful children, but you say there were a lot of trust issues.
Yes.
What happened?
This is after my 3rd pregnancy. In 2015, I found out that I've always felt like he had a thing going on with one of my homegirls, and finally, it just finally came out. You know, he got drunk and just pretty much told me, out of being upset with me for whatever the reason, that he did end up sleeping with her. And just from them, I just really couldn't trust him because I always felt like it was going on, but he always made me feel like I was being crazy and just brushed it off. So after that time, it was just like we just couldn't get back. It was just always sneakiness because it started being a tit for tat type of thing.
Okay. You're talking about his tit, and he's going to tell me about what you say is the tat in a second. So you were indeed seeing a friend of one of her friends. And you denied it for a long time, and then you decided to come clean?
it was one of them things where our marriage was crashing, so I just had to be honest with it. It wasn't just on my end, trust me. But it was one of our things, our marriage, the lies.
But this was the first time the two of you addressed infidelity in the marriage, am I right?
No, it wasn't the first time.
It wasn't the first time?
The first time was when she was so-called, you know, brothers. You know, everybody, we got these brothers, you know what I mean? And she got caught having sexual relations with one of her brothers.
With one of her brothers?
So-called
one of her friends that she said was like a brother to her?
Brothers, yeah.
So is that
he
true?
Say, no, it's not true.
Oh, so you saying that did not happen?
It did not happen.
Well, he said you got caught.
Yeah, how? But he never even brought this up, so I never got caught with anything like that.
So did something happen at all?
No, nothing happened. Nothing
When you
happened.
say she got caught, what do you mean?
She told me, I mean,
Never told
Hold
me.
on a second, ma'am. What did she tell
I
you?
told her that I knew about it already, and she got caught up in her own lie. And even after that, she never cut the relationship off, even over the years.
So you're telling
It
me
never
she
mattered.
told you
Uh-huh.
she slept with someone else? She
Yes.
told you that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you tell him that?
I never told him that, Your Honor.
Wow. Are we going to have
Never
a lie
told him
detector
that.
test today?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Bring it out.
Exactly. But that's like him telling me the fact of him having a baby, but now all of a sudden that's not true. So I guess that's something that he would, continue not being
So you have
honest
6
about.
children?
Five.
What happened? Someone else was pregnant?
Oh, I plead the fifth on that, Your Honor.
This is not criminal court. We don't think this.
Yeah. A female tried to lie on me and say she was pregnant, but it was a lie. But then this is where she got a full-blown relationship, like, so we wasn't even together at the time, like.
So the woman wasn't actually pregnant at all?
No.
He's
what you're
always
saying.
done stuff like that, like to maliciously just to get a reaction out of me. So
I don't understand what that means, because if someone says something to you like that, what is your reaction supposed to be? You're going to have
Well,
a
he told
dramatic
me
reaction.
freshly out of us just being separated because we're no longer together. We've been staying in separate homes. So I guess I was just being so nonchalant about the breakup where I felt like he wanted to get a reaction out of me by saying that.
Okay, so she's saying that you were just saying that while you were separated just to take a deeper jab at her, just
No.
to twist the knife.
Anybody that know me, Your Honor, that's a lie.
I put my life on the back burner, allow him to, invest all his money into that to where he just got really used to it to where he didn't want to pay bills anymore. It just got to a point where I couldn't take it.
When a man falls short, sometimes a woman is stray, but as my wife, you're supposed to have my back. If you don't,
I mean,
it's a
who's to
problem.
say I didn't?
She been in a relationship since 3 months before we was even separated.
Okay.
Yeah.
She started seeing someone else
And
before
she
you were
want me
separated.
to be responsible for bills for a guy that don't even help her pay her own bills.
Okay, you're her husband, and the two of you have 5 children that live in a household, right?
Yes,
So
Your
you're
Honor.
saying that somebody that she's dating
Yes, Your Honor.
for 3
He
months
feels like-
should take over the finances
Yes, Your Honor.
and help in the household, and you're not responsible for them
That's
anymore?
what he's saying, Your
No,
Honor.
they've been talking for a year.
That's what he's saying, Your Honor.
I feel like if you call me for gas money and you've been talking to a guy, like, wow.
Once, Your Honor.
Really,
Yeah.
actually, honestly, before we even was separated, so that's infidelity.
She was talking to someone, or she was having an affair with someone?
Having an affair with someone.
Okay, is that true?
No, it's not.
So you're saying she was, and at this point, she should not be asking you for gas money
Yes.
and other things because she's talking to someone else. What's your proof that she's having an affair?
What's my proof?
What's your proof? You say you know.
I know is you check her social media.
What did you see?
I see them going to beach houses every weekend without the kids. I see them living a lavish lifestyle. I see them doing a lot of stuff.
Who is this person that he said he sees on your social
A
media?
friend. Like, just because you hang out with someone doesn't automatically deems them as your someone. Just
A
because
friend
you
she
Is
see
this
been talking
somebody
to
new?
for a year.
Yeah, this
Yana.
is someone new.
So just friends?
Yes, just friends.
What that sound like to you?
So
I don't know. He might have something there, but I still go back to the responsibility of the bills. Because guess
Exactly.
what? When the two of you go your separate ways legally, let's say the legal papers are drawn, you still have responsibility.
Exactly.
Household responsibilities
Yes,
that
Your Honor.
no matter who you date, that the two of you are responsible for. But you have 5 children. They have needs.
Amen.
All I am saying is, if you move on and you start dating somebody else, you are not absolved of your responsibility to take care of those children and their needs. What are some of the other issues? Because you say you put GPS.
Yeah, well, he's
Out.
done the GPS, but even within the 5 years, I allowed him to quit his job so he can chase his dreams and, pretty much put my dreams on the back burner.
What is that dream?
Music. Yeah, I'm real passionate in music.
To do what with music?
Right now, I manage.
Okay.
Yeah, and market.
So you said he quit his job, and what happened?
Artists for a while. Like, he's been managing artists since 2015, and he pretty much, I allowed him to quit his job so he can be fully focused on that. Some things have flourished as of today, but stuff as far as the management, as far as, you know, artist ministry, I really didn't find that to be successful. But I put my life on the back burner, allow him to, you know, invest all his money into that, to where he just got really used to it, to where he didn't want to pay bills anymore. It just got to a point where I couldn't take it. You know, that's pretty much what drove me to starting to entertain conversations with other people, because he put me in a predicament where he would no longer be my provider.
And so what was going on with the business?
But,
you weren't making as much?
Let me, hold on, Yana, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. But to touch bases on that, she's absolutely right. You know, when a man falls short, sometimes a woman is astray, but as my woman and my wife, you're supposed to have my backbone through thick and thin, so if you don't,
I mean, who's to say I didn't?
Well, what happened?
I didn't have
what
your
was
back.
going on with the music? So, because this has been a few years now, were you able to bring in income that would help sustain the household at some point?
Now I am.
Now
but
you
that
are.
takes time with growing.
Now that the marriage is
maturing.
over.
So it just takes time. You know, with anybody's career, you know, you got to really be ready to work. Before, I think I was more like a little boy with it. Just enjoying the scene, having fun, and, you know what I mean, just the entertainment. But now I'm on my grown man with it.
I feel like on your little boy, you shouldn't be looking to get married.
Financially now, because you do have 5 children together.
do.
You say the marriage is
Yes,
over,
ma'am.
but you're always going to be connected.
We are.
Because of the children that you have that you're going to co-parent and raise. So financially now, are you making as much now?
Oh, yes, y'all. She don't have to worry about nothing. She good.
Well, I'm glad that he said that, because you know, it is some things that he do owe.
Well, you got it on tape.
Yeah.
So you can go back and play the recording when you need it.
You said it, not me.
You're saying that he charged up $8,000 worth of unauthorized charges?
Well, 3,000 I counted.
Where I took some money from her, and I felt like I was entitled to the money.
Were there charges on the card that you were unauthorized to make?
I have nothing to do with that,
Yes,
Yana.
there were.
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. So there have been a number of issues because now you're suing. You say that he owes you $8,000. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, I have gotten a credit
Lies,
card
lies,
opened
and
up.
more lies.
I got a credit
I heard
card
you the first time you
opened
said
up
it
in my
earlier
name.
in the case. What?
I said I had got a credit card opened up in my name, you know, to help with our credit so that way we can start getting ready to purchase a home, you know, not to get it and to max it out. You know, we're doing this responsibly. Well, something just told me just to go on the account and start, you know, I even have evidence to as well. So something told me just to go on the account and, you know, just start looking up it because I kept receiving, you know, multiple withdrawals. And as you can see, when I went to check my account, I just started seeing unquestionable charges on it. And I just kept going through it like ATM withdrawals. I didn't do any of those. You know, property management. I didn't do any of those. So I can only assume it was him because he was the only one who had access to the card.
You're saying that he charged up $8,000 worth of unauthorized charges, or how many of those charges were unauthorized?
Well, so far 3,000 I counted. I didn't really go back to.
So why are you suing for 8?
Because I feel like he should pay it because the rest of it was mainly for me having to take care of foot the bills because he wouldn't, you know, help me pay the bills.
Well, okay, but this is not in feelings court. This is, we go by the law in court. So $3,000 you say he charged unauthorized. The other ones were household bills that you were covering.
Yes.
But you did have an agreement at one point that you would cover bills because
yes,
he
but
wasn't
not for 5
working.
years, Your Honor.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem to me. At some point, you've got to put your foot down and make a change.
That's true.
I want to ask you about the $3,000 for some of these charges. What were you doing with the credit card?
As far as that credit card, I don't know. It is an incident where I took some money from her, but that was only because she filed taxes and I didn't work and I felt like I was entitled to the money.
Oh, with that, Your Honor, that is not the story, Your Honor.
Well, hold on a second. I want to understand what's going on with the credit card.
Credit card, like you know, Yana, I don't know about your household, but when it comes to money
No,
management.
you don't. So let's talk about yours.
when it comes to managing money, I got her beat by a long shot. So
Well,
he said.
in terms of managing this credit card, which is what we are specifically talking about,
I have nothing.
were
to do
there
with
charges on the card that you were unauthorized to make?
I have nothing to do with that,
Yes,
Yana.
there were. Yes, there were.
So if she didn't make the withdrawals, who was making the withdrawals?
I was responsible for 2 bills. That was it.
What 2 bills?
It was a light bill, and I want to say water, if I'm not
See,
mistaken.
he don't even know what he was
And
responsible
were you
for.
charging those bills to this credit card?
Yeah, I just charged the 2 bills.
So, but you were responsible for paying it?
Yeah,
but you
she
charged
was
it to her credit
yeah,
card?
But
Yes.
she was aware of that.
So that's
Yeah, no, it
not
was
you
not.
paying it.
Yeah.
That's you
it
charging it
was
to
not.
her card.
Yeah.
Were you aware that he was making these charges to the card?
No, I was not until I looked at the bill and I noticed that he
Because
was
why
making
would she,
mistakes.
if these were 2 bills you were
It's still-
responsible for paying, why would she then agree that you charge it to her card that she pays?
Because I gave her cash for it.
The cash that you withdrew from the ATM?
No,
Pretty
I
much.
don't know
That's
nothing
the
about that
cash.
ATM.
Okay, so the 2 of you are married, so we're gonna do some rough justice and we're gonna do a split on this
Got it.
credit card in terms of paying and responsibility for
Gotcha,
it.
Yana.
Okay? Now, the bigger issue is, you say you want a divorce.
I do.
You say this is the end.
It is.
Was there a final straw?
It was. I
What
mean,
was that?
just with the finding out of the cheating, and then he had purchased a car for me for our anniversary, so he say. And I supposedly broke his heart because he found text message. So he found the text message, got upset, cleared out my bank account. Then when I asked him for the money back, he was like, well, that's the money for the car.
How much money did he take from the bank account?
$3,000.
How much?
$3,000.
Did you do that?
No, yeah. That was the incident I just told you about. But that was the tax. That was for the taxing, though.
Oh, I know you're saying that money was a result of taxes.
Yes,
but
Your
did you go in and take the money out of the account without talking to her?
Yeah,
Yes.
I took it, yeah.
Why is that?
Because I felt like it was owed to me. Like,
Again, we are not in feelings.
yes, yeah.
See?
So why do you believe this money was owed to you?
I mean, I feel it. I mean, a person.
She said it's not feelings.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not a feeling.
Tell me.
well,
Tell her.
I take care of the family, but she works. At the time, I wasn't working, so she works. So when we normally do taxes, she give me what she want. But at the time, she was angry with me, so I decided to take what I felt deserved.
Was there an agreement in place that the 2 of you would split a certain amount of a tax refund? That's what you're talking
No.
A
about?
verbal agreement.
No.
We do it. I mean, we
It
do
was
it every
never
year,
an
Your
agreement.
Honor.
So, the issue is when you're married, if the 2 of you weren't married, there would be a different legal standard applied, but you are married. And you're suing for $8,000 for the credit card. He brought up this $3,000, which is questionable because you took it out of a separate account.
Yes, Your Honor.
But the bigger issue is the $8,000, the credit card, that you're suing over. I'm gonna order you to pay half of this bill. It's fair. It's
Yes,
the
Your
right
Honor.
thing. I wish the 2 of you well as you go forward, but please understand what co-parenting means. You do not take it out on your children because you go on and you start seeing other people.
They live-
You don't take it out on your kids just because you don't like the other person at the time. You gotta learn how to get along for the sake of the 5 lives you have created. They are innocent. They didn't ask to be here, but you brought them here. So act like adults and be good parents to them. And everyone can make the adjustment because you're starting a new life. When you start over, you don't start from scratch. You start from experience. You got some experience from this marriage. Start looking through the windshield. Start looking forward and not through the rearview mirror. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Your Honor. When the judge told us about co-parenting and even touching on the fact of us starting new relationships, I appreciate her speaking on that because that's something I think he does need to hear, and not just from me, also from a judge standpoint as well.
When the judge touched on co-parent, I definitely agree with her with that decision because it's bigger than us. It's about the kids at the end of the day, no matter what we got going on.
When the judge asked me about the, as far as the result of the marriage, I still feel at the end of the day it's no saving it. I do still feel like we need to proceed with the divorce. Even as an example of today, we still couldn't come to terms even with the judge being present.
When it comes to divorce, I definitely feel and agree because at this present time in my life, we're not compatible.